Hey, 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 man, we right here, we rocking this Doughboy Clay, and we will all access Detroit.
All Access Detroit, I'd like to welcome everyone here to our platform. If you're new to this channel, please do me a favor. Hit that like button, that subscribe button, and also that notification bell so you can be notified whenever we drop new content, because we coming with nothing but the hottest out of the city of Detroit. And so this guest right here, ladies and gentlemen, really doesn't need any introduction. There's actually a meme going around right now where he's listed as one of the top 3 singers here in the city of Detroit, alongside the names of Aretha Franklin, also Anita Baker. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Doughboy Clay.
What up, though?
What's going on, Clay? How you doing today, my brother?
All is well, King. All is well. Peace and blessings.
Okay, well, first of all, you're a very busy guy. I'd like to thank you for taking the opportunity to grace our platform with your presence.
Off top, appreciate the love.
So obviously we're fresh off of the verses.
Yeah.
And coming off of the verses, every time I look on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram,
yeah,
all we see is Doughboy Clay.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's a reemergence, because obviously you've been doing your thing, you haven't went anywhere.
Exactly.
But do you feel like your buzz has increased since the verses?
It has increased tremendously, man. I call it the rebirth, you know, because this is the first time everybody really, technically speaking, really seeing my face. A lot of people know who I am, they just don't know my face. So now is the time where I'm taking out, not only putting out more music, but I want to do more content and actually do more videos, man, so the fans can recognize who I am. But this is definitely a rebirth for sure.
Okay, and it's you're doing a great job. One thing I want to say is shout out to 42 Doug and the concert and the announcement of the verses. So one thing I will say is everything with the concert looked like it was going pretty good.
Yeah.
But I'd be lying if I didn't say that once the announcement of the verses was announced, it seemed like the city went in a frenzy. Everybody started talking about going to the concert. Everybody wanted to get tickets. And then it seemed to be, I'm not going to say a disagreement, but it looked like a little miscommunication, where it seemed like the verses wasn't going to take place. And it looks like you guys were able to be men, be adults, and get past that. Can you kind of speak on what that maybe miscommunication was and how you guys were able to get past it?
For lack of better words, it was exactly what you just said, man. It was literally just a miscommunication. Once the parties to be got on the phone and hashed out whatever that small misunderstanding was, immediately we agreed to do it. And yeah, we had to go and take care of our business. Just point blank period. We had to step, man, as we would say, stepping. So yeah.
Well, that's dope, brother. Shout out to y'all, man, for being able to put those differences, whatever they may be, to the side, to get on the same stage, get to the bag, get to the money, but most importantly, to be able to show everybody around the world that Detroit can be unified, that we can come on the same stage. We can show these young brothers out here that you don't have to be at odds to get money together,
Facts.
to do big things. So shout out to you guys for that.
Facts.
Now, one thing I want to bring up is I was looking at YouTube the other day, and I ran across a vlog that said how Doughboyz Cashout versus almost didn't happen.
Facts.
A lot of people may not know what kind of went on behind the scenes. Can you kind of speak to that a little bit, how we almost didn't get the opportunity to witness that magical moment?
It was timing. You know, when you're dealing with the professionalism and the business aspect of things, everything is precise. Everything is timing. Everything is accuracy. We literally had to make sure, well, before the concert started, when we met up at Soundcheck, we agreed to do like 12 songs a piece, to actually give the fans just a good battle amongst the two groups. We were unable to do that for the simple fact, I want to say it was timing. When Doug booked the Little Caesars Arena, which was something big, you know, and it's specific timing that you have to follow, or is, you know, you got to pay them. You got to pay the consequence afterwards, which is financially. You got to spend money for every minute, every second that you're late. You know, and even though he did throw on a good show for the city, you know, the business aspect still had to take place at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And that's why we didn't get the opportunity to really give the fans exactly what it was that they were looking for. However, I will say this though, summertime. Look forward to something, man. We working diligently. We trying to put something big together so that the city could see both teams on the stage once again.
Okay, and you answered that question because that was definitely a question I was going to ask you, because I had the opportunity to be out there in the audience, and I watched when you guys hit the stage. I watched the people go crazy.
Yeah, the roar.
And you had all these national acts there, obviously. But from my experience, from talking to people and seeing different people, even people older that wouldn't necessarily have went to that concert, once they heard the announcement of the Doughboyz Cashout, Team Eastside on the same stage, it just went nuts. And I wanted to ask, obviously you guys are doing music together. We hear a lot of songs, see a lot of videos, and you said that there's going to be an opportunity for people to be able to see you guys again. So I think that that's super dope, super dope. So let me ask you another question. Doughboyz Cashout, do you guys feel that prior to the verses you got the credit that you deserve for putting Detroit back on the map?
Number one, I can't speak for everybody in the group. I can only speak for me, but I will say that the verses helped a lot as far as, you know, Doughboyz Cashout was before their time, man. You know, the group itself, we were way before our time. You know, that's why we were who we was back then, as well as now. You know, we are staples. Our music. If you listen to our music is still relevant to this day. However, it's a new genre of people. It's a new genre of music, and everybody deserves to be seen and everybody deserves to be heard. And I feel like had we came out, let's just say around this time. Of course we will be one of the top groups. Of course we will be labeled number one, or, you know, for lack of better words, we'll be doing just as good, you know. But we just came out before our time, and that's my personal opinion as far as everything. But I will say that the rebirth of everything is something to see. I ain't gonna lie to you. We definitely got music. We got a lot of things that we're working on. We got big projects. We got things that's happening right now. We work with Team Eastside too. You know, we got songs with I got songs with Peasy. I got songs with Babyface. I got songs pretty much with, I ain't gonna say everybody on the East Side, but we working towards that, you know. They got songs with not just me, but with, you know, a couple other of my brothers. You know, of course we already know they got songs with Pay. They got songs with Keys. Keys is with pretty much GT and Peasy on a regular basis. Whatever problems was, man, we're grown, man. You know, didn't no real blood spill behind it. So it's like, at this point, it's all about getting money, man, generational wealth, and bridging the gap, and, you know, showing unity amongst each other. You know, ain't got to be no East or no West Side shit, man. No more. We grown. You know what I'm saying? And we all trying to make money. That's the biggest objective of it all. And we in the era, of my personal opinion, where knowledge is power, and we got a lot of information that's being dropped on us all at one time. And I feel like the power is in numbers, and I'm not the only one who feel like that. So we definitely working towards some things, man, and that's going to be promising to all of our futures.
And just to piggyback on that, what you said, one thing that I will say that I noticed from different interviews and things of that nature, even from Team Eastside, when you guys weren't necessarily on the best of terms, they always gave you guys your respect for being trendsetters. Facts. You know, for being the people that inspired them. Exactly. I've always saw you guys at the same time give them their respect for what they brought to the city musically. So facts. I think that that's super dope. And as you stated before, no blood was shed or anything like that. So when that doesn't happen, you can kind of move past those things. You can let a lot of stuff go, man. You can let a lot of stuff go. As long as ain't no blood shed, you know, we ain't talking about no fighting, man. Everybody know what we mean when we say real bloodshed. So as long as that don't happen, you know,
it's kind of a lot of stuff can be talked out, you know, for lack of better words.
Yeah. Okay. Another thing I want to touch on that I want to say was so huge for the city is the collaboration with Jeezy. When it was announced, Doughboyz Cashout and CTE, it was all over the radio. There was a lot of excitement when you guys did the deal with Jeezy. Can you just talk about that relationship with Jeezy? Because it seems like you guys still have a lot of love for each other. Can you talk about how that deal came about and how it ended if you're not signed, or, you know, just can you just kind of dive into that?
First things first, I was not signed. Nothing personal, is business. My personal opinion, just my personal opinion, whatever business plan that Jeezy had, it just didn't include me. I'm not mad at his decision or nothing like that. I have no hate in my heart for, you know, that decision that he made. End of the day, my brother still made sure that I ate good off of that deal that was made. Yes, we do still have personal relationships with dude. You know, all around business wise, he's a genius. So he knew what he was doing when he created or when he signed Doughboyz Cashout. And once again, to this day, we still have great relationships with him. I know Pay talk to him regularly. I know Dre, as well as Keys. I don't know if Kid, but I know when he see Kid, it's all love always as usual. I just know that, you know, the names that I did name, they, you know, when they do see, you know, when they see him, even when I see him, you know, it's all love. We shake hands, you know, we may have a conversation here and there, you know, and we keep it moving, you know, but it's all love. It's definitely a respect between us, you know, and it's a relationship that has built over the course of years. So yeah, I have nothing bad to say about Jeezy, man.
Yeah, that's dope. Everybody's got to give that credit because, like I said, prior to that, I don't remember any national celebrities really showing Detroit the love that they do now. Back in the day, Street Lords, you know, they had Be Legit, E40 and those guys, but that was so long ago, and there was a large gap between national artists really embracing Detroit artists, and then when Jeezy came and just kind of, you know, endorsed you guys, it just kind of
opened the gates.
Yes, it did.
He helped put a spotlight on Detroit. You know, even though we were signed first, everything that came after us was pretty much a staple from the beginning stages of what he said, you know, by signing us, you know, and we grateful for that, man. We, you know, we are happy to say that we were a part of the open door, opening the door, you know, so yeah, we're grateful for it.
Okay, so in terms of Doughboyz Cashout, the group, obviously you guys are like brothers. I haven't even ever heard of any like public spat between you guys or anything. You move like brothers. Can you just kind of tell the people how Doughboyz Cashout got started? I understand you guys were two separate groups at first and came to be one group. Yeah,
so we originally started off as two groups, two groups that were hated at the time by the rest of the world, for lack of better words. We beef with the entire Detroit. We beef with the entire West Side. Any group that was somebody out here back then, they know, they can speak on it, man. We were literally hated by everybody. And we decided to, you know, come together, you know, the power is in numbers, man, you know, so we decided to click up, link up, and we broadened our horizons from there, man. We just, you know, we elevated from that. The reason why you don't hear much, like, you know, BS between us is because we live by a code, man. No man greater than the other. Loyalty is everything. We are literally brothers. And we take care of each other. We take pride in, you know, how we communicate with each other, and as well as with the rest of the world, man. It ain't everybody's business to know what we go through. That don't mean we don't have fights. That don't mean we talking every day. It ain't nobody's business what we go through, you know what I'm saying? But we do have our differences. We do, you know, sometimes you might have to go in the backyard and, you know what I'm saying? Like, get that out the way, you know, but end of the day, that's what we have to deal with. It ain't for the rest of the world to know.
That's what's up. So speaking of brothers, I hate to kind of change the tone a little bit, but the fact that these guys were indeed your brothers, not just group mates, I want to talk about the impact that it had on you guys in terms of losing Josh or Forever Fresh or Long Live Roc. Let's start out with Roc, because a lot of people may not know. I mean, obviously, it was a huge loss for the city. Anyone that I hear speaks of Roc, they always say great things about this guy. I used to see him out, you know, Roc would always show love to people. He'd take pictures with people. Just seemed like a great, dope dude. But for you, a lot of people don't understand that Roc is actually your nephew.
Exactly.
So can you just kind of touch on what that impact was to you, being this was your relative, a real blood relative?
Man, I had to deal with so much. First of all, Long Live Roc, Forever Fresh, man. It was different for me. I had to deal with the streets as well as deal with the family issues that was going on at the time. And I was so caught up in both, it was hard to distinguish what I was actually doing. Because, you know, when somebody dies sometimes, you know, that could either make the family or break the family. And we were going through some rough times around that time, man, where, you know, family kind of did separate a little bit. But at the end of the day, family is family, and, you know, we love each other, and we still take care of each other. We still providing for each other. And, you know, you're going to have some misunderstandings and some disagreements. But yeah, man, that was a tough blow. It's still a tough blow, you know, even to talk about bro as much, to the point where now, you know, to kind of like ease my pain a little bit, I make sure I do a tribute to him in pretty much every show that I do. I'm gonna play a Roc song if I have to do a performance. I'm gonna play a Roc song, just period, you know, and that's just my way of, for lack of better words, letting the world know that he still exists, he's still around, and like we say, Long Live Roc. It's a meaning behind that. You know, he's never forgotten, and Fresh. It was mind-boggling for me because that was a little brother for me. Josh is Dre's little brother, and you know, we lost him to cancer. Thank God it wasn't nothing violent or anything of that nature. I hate little brother had to go, but I'm glad he went out kind of peacefully in the midst, even though it was, you know, he had hard times a little bit, but he didn't die from violence. So I'm glad he went out in a different way. It was sad, you know, me and him wasn't even on the best of terms, you know, but I'm glad that we were able to hash out our differences, and I was able to tell my brother I love him. You know, I was able to let him know that if he ever needed me, I was here for him, you know. So, you know, those situations took a major blow, not only on me, but as well as my brothers. You know, you know, when you really lose people, man, that do something to you, man. You know, and then it's like, for lack of better words, you know, whatever you guys have built together, it almost won't be the same. It's like you're missing a piece of the puzzle, and you're trying to fill it in, and it's almost like you can't. You know, so it's a tough situation, man. It's a dangerous and it's a dangerous battle mentally and physically if you allow it to. Yeah, so.
Definitely. But we just want to say, long live Roc.
Long live Roc, forever fresh.
Rest in peace to those brothers. I'm sure they're looking down and they're smiling and they're proud
of
each and every one of you guys and how you putting on for the city and still sticking together as brothers. That's the best way to honor them, is the way that y'all move and stick together as brothers. Okay, I just have a couple of other questions I want to get your opinion on. There's a kind of a trending topic going on where people have been saying that people like your Royce 5'9" or your Eminem or some of the elder statesmen in the game, people feel as though they haven't reached out enough to other artists. What's your opinion on that? Do you think, do you have an opinion that these other artists have a responsibility to reach out and do things for other artists, or is that not their responsibility?
So I'm gonna kind of piggyback on Viz when I say, like, he ain't do nothing. Eminem ain't do nothing for the city, like, as far as, you know, the rappers. You know, he had it. You know, he did something for Detroit as far as like putting the name out there a little more. But the community, like, have you seen Eminem in the club? Have you seen Eminem besides, you know, maybe on a big stage? Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Have you seen him at your local Coney Islands or even heard about him being there? Now it's so crazy, he been popping up at the Lions games. You know what I'm saying? Which is dope. That's fire. But as far as really being in the community, I don't know, dog. You know what I'm saying? As far as Royce, I've seen Royce a few times. I had the pleasure of meeting him. I don't know what he's done, so I'm not going to really elaborate on or to say that he hasn't. I may not know about it, you know. But if he has, that's what's up. If you haven't, get on your shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. Get on your shit. You know, it's one thing to have a name, man. You got a lot of responsibility when you got a name. Even if you ain't doing nothing but buying the kids ice cream every day on the block, at least the kids know that who you are, you took on a responsibility of just doing something to show them that you care. You might not can't help them musically, but at least you was able to ease. You never know. You bought that kid an ice cream, or you had a conversation with that man or that young man, and then it changed his life. You know what I'm saying? If you are doing something, I ain't saying promote it, but it's okay to promote sometimes. You know what I'm saying, or even just show it sometimes. So yeah, I make sure I do it.
So I have to ask you this. You brought up the Lions. At the time of the Versus, the Lions were in the playoffs, NFC Championship, and now, as of this interview, they actually lost and obviously not going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
I love the underdog. I always been underdog. Sleep on me. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like the Lions were slept on. The Lions was cheated a few times this year. We were never supposed to make it as far as we did. I'm a Detroiter, so I don't really. I love football. I played football growing up. I even went to college for football, but I can't stand to watch it. But I'm a diehard Lions fan. I had a Lion chain back, you know what I'm saying, years ago. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, I'm a Lions fan till I die, man. And I'm grateful that they went as far as they did, and that they finally changing the trajectory of everything, man. And that's a beautiful feeling, man. Like, so shout out to the Lions. I will be at more games next season. Yeah, I'm gonna be on the field.
That's what's up. Okay, I have another question I want to ask. Another brother I had the opportunity to see come out during the concert and get recognized, which is a guy that I would call one of my good friends from back in the day, Helluva.
Yeah.
Helluva obviously laid the blueprint in terms of beat making, producing, and really putting the city on the map. Do you feel that he gets the credit that he really deserves for everything that he did in bringing the world's attention to the Detroit sound?
I feel like if he didn't, he is now. That's for sure. Helluva is an icon. He's a staple for the city when it comes to our sound, our almost, I'ma almost even say our style. Before it was a Helluva, I don't know what we were doing besides Bay music. That was, Detroit to the Bay is something big, but without Helluva creating that specific sound, man, that was pretty much unmimicked, besides, I don't know nobody else that could have done it and has done a better job at doing what he has done, man. He's still working. I was just in the studio with him the other day. He was in the studio whipping up for, I think his name O3 Greedo. He was in there whipping up for him. He did like 4-5 beats for him, man. Dude from Cali. And that's a big deal for me. You know what I'm saying? It's a big deal for Helluva. It's a big deal for the city, because I feel like once again, we're one up, man. We getting closer and closer to that goal of changing everything for the city of Detroit. So shout out to Helluva, man. Keep doing your thing. Salute, King.
Shout out to Helluva. Keep doing your thing. We got to get you here on the platform, my brother. But shout out to you. We appreciate everything you're doing for the city. So Doughboy Clay, we're not going to hold you up too much longer. We know you got a lot of stuff going on. Why don't you let the people know how to contact you? Because I remember you lost your Instagram at one point.
Yeah, so, dude hacked me, man. I ain't losing. So nigga hacked me. He eating a bag of chips, Lay's right now on my page. Nigga pissed me off with that. So by the way, follow me back on my new Instagram. Yeah, follow me on my new Instagram, man. Doughboy Clay. That's mainly where I'm at all times, man. You can find me there regularly. Yeah, or call me if you got my number. If not, leave me alone.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say again, from All Access Detroit, thank you, Doughboy Clay. It's been a pleasure. We appreciate you, my brother.
Thank you for having me, man.
Thanks again, bro.
Love.